What's up, guys? Welcome to a first match report on the United pre-season tour of South Africa. As you know, last night Select's men played Amazulu FC in Durban, I think it was, and it was a 1-0 win to the Reds, and it was an really comfortable victory actually in the end, albeit not that convincing in our attacking kind of like chances, etc., but it's still a good start to the tour. And now I'm just going to talk over in detail about the match. So the lineup was a experimental one with a lot of young players included from the start, because of firstly due to the kind of like some of the injuries we had, the inclusion of the Euro players. So it was a mixture of youth and experience within the side. So the lineup we had was Anders Lingard, Frederick Vaselli, Scott Wooten, Ferdinand and Robbie Brady starting his first competitive game at left back. And then we had a three central midfield players with Paul Scholes and Carrick in the middle, alongside Jesse Lingard, one of the youth players. And then we had three in attack with Berbatov, Chicharito and Kiko Makeda. However, it was kind of like a 4-3-1-2 formation with the three midfielders and then Berbatov just sitting in front, providing that kind of like final killer pass to either Chicharito and Makeda. And it was really going well in the first half, I thought. We had obviously a lot of possession from the Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick axis in the central midfield. It was quite easy to see, like, you know, the kind of like wealth of class between the two sides, where we had the players were able to keep the ball easier, even though they were you know, in the pre-season kind of like fitness wise. And you know, it just told the difference and class between kind of like the two sides, in my opinion. And first half there were some chances gone begging, and we should have been ahead in the first 5 minutes when after great work from, I think it was Makeda, who passed the ball across the goal, and Chicharito somehow kind of like missed an open goal. I think it kind of like caught him between his two legs and he was a bit undecided as to what one, and then by the time he had, the chance has gone. So, you know, if he was in better shape and better fitness, I think he would have finished that one off. So it was a bright start, to be fair, but then the match, very much an exhibition kind of like flow to it, kind of like a bit cagey from the Amazulu players, who were showing a lot of respect to United players, and that led us to having a lot of possession. And it took us to the 20th minute when Kiko Makeda, after a good play from and ball from Berbatov, fed him, and then he calmly finished with his right foot, and that kind of like set the tone for the match really. That put us in the driving seat, and we went to dominate thereafter. And also, however, like the Amazulu players, realising that this is probably one of their only chance to play Manchester United, they gave a really good fight as well for the remaining in the first half, I thought, forcing Anders Lingard to some really good saves. You know, as a goalkeeper on tour, you're not going to have the chance to impress that much, but Anders Lingard, it's fair to say that he's done his job there last night and really impressed again, similarly like last season when he's trying to wrestle the number one back from David De Gea. So again, Lingard was really impressive, really calm as well. His distribution could have been a bit better, but again, this is the first game on the pre-season tour. Also, another mention goes to Lingard, not to be confused with Lingard. Jesse Lingard, one of the youth players playing with Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick in central midfield, played really well, had a couple strong runs from midfield, and yeah, really good movement, really intelligent on the ball. So that was really nice to see how he has like taken it into his stride and, you know, performed well at a very top level. And I'm sure Select will be watching for his performances in the next few matches and see if he can really step up to the first team next term. So it's a really exciting prospect in Jesse Lingard there. And then in the second half, much like the first half, to be honest, we started quite well, but it was a lot more flow to the game, both sides trying to attack. and yeah, just create a much more better game for it, more vibrant, a lot of pace. Yeah, so. And there were a couple of chances. Anders Lingard again came to the rescue, performing some, goal line heroics. But I have to say, the Amazulu players really gave it all. And like I said, forcing Lingard to one or two good saves. And we had a few chances as well. Chicharito didn't have the best of games, to be fair. But again, he was trying to dart and time his runs. Unfortunately, didn't get many of them right last night. But again, as the tour continues, I'm sure he will sharpen up and score a few goals before we come back to the European leg of the tour. I have to say, Dimitar Berbatov impressed me throughout with that kind of like almost number 10 role they played last night between the midfield and the strikers. It looked as for him, because he was one of these players. He was very elegant. Some of you guys will criticize his kind of like style, but like I said, he demonstrated his kind of like full skill of Arsenal last night, with little nice touches, great pass, great vision. So he just had the whole game last night. One thing, if he's going to play that number 10 role next season, is that he just needs to work a bit harder going back. So that'll be one criticism that I say about Berbatov's game, but it's just how his game is, and you have to accept that. But going forward, he is second to none in his technique and vision. So Berbatov, special mention for a fine display last night as well. And in the second half, I was really intrigued to see the substitution of Tyler Blackett, a young not centre back, but a left back, playing for the academy. Won the Youth Cup a couple of years ago with the likes of Raul Morrison and Zeki Fries, and so he has a good grounding with a lot of good players around him, and he looked really good last night. He looks like a real prospect, really fast over the ground. Also had this kind of like aura about him, very confident on the ball, not shy to take people on, but at times you could say that's a bit naive in some of the position he got himself into. But I see that as confidence and self-confidence, and also conviction that of his belief in his own ability. So Tyler Blackett, he really impressed me with his kind of like display. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him starting a game, perhaps even playing against better opponents, perhaps like Hanover later in the European tour, and maybe Barcelona if required. So I really rate him quite highly after that brief performance last night. So Tyler Blackett, he's a guy that you all need to look out for. And there were some other youth players that I really particularly like Davide Petrucci. He came on, did well, didn't play in his preferred position as the number 10 role, played a bit out wide, but he had a cracking effort, hitting the bar, and was really unlucky because the goalkeeper, he was nowhere, and it was a really fine effort, just a bit unlucky on the day. On any other game, it would have been a fine goal, and everyone would have been raving about it. So it's just a bit unlucky, but again, did a few good touches, and yeah, really impressed me again, Davide Petrucci. And lastly, Shinji Kagawa had his 5 minute of fame as well, making official bow for the Reds. It was kind of like a weird situation because he was about to come on the 82nd minute, but the ball didn't want to go out, and he didn't come on until the 87th. So it was kind of like a really weird period because everyone just knew they wanted to kick the ball out, but the ball just refused to go out. So he came on, had a few nice touches. His first touch was a really great ball to Dimitar Berbatov, but the linesman ruled it offside, which was wrong, by the way. So that could have been a first really good kind of like first touch and introduction for Shinji Kagawa, but unfortunately didn't have enough time to influence the game much more than that. However, Sir Alex has confirmed that he will start this Saturday, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will tune in for that game, knowing that Kagawa will probably definitely start that game for sure. But however, Nick Powell, he won't be starting, I don't think, because Sir Alex also said about how he believes that Nick Powell is a couple days kind of early in his fitness wise, so he's not ready yet, but he will be when we go to the Far East. So overall, a 1-0 solid win. It's not inspiring last night. but I have to say it was the first game of pre-season. There's not more you can expect from the players. That all they want to prove was their fitness, and in the end it was a good run out because Amazulu players applied themselves really well, offered some tough opponents who were already like in mid pre-season kind of like mindset, so they were a bit fitter, and by the end you could tell their fitness was a bit superior, but they did themselves proud, can hold their heads high after that performance as well. But it was a good run out for United, and now I hope we will improve on Saturday against Ajax Cape Town, I think that's what they're called. So it will be a good match, that one, and especially seeing Kagawa start from the beginning too. So what do you guys think of that video and also the match last night? Leave your comment below. So that's it, guys, for another episode of Match Report. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please rate, comment and subscribe. And that's it for me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.